Seriously, you're jealous of my guy friends? She asked, her eyes glued to her phone as her fingers danced over the screen, responding to Eli or Braden, or whoever else she'd been texting since the middle of the night. I looked at her unshaken. Not anymore. She didn't even glance up, just smirked at the screen. That's when I realized, the version of her I once adored was probably just a figment of my imagination. 6 years. That's how long I spent trying to make it work. We met in grad school. She was studying behavioral psychology, I was working in corporate strategy. We fit together perfectly like opposite puzzle pieces. She was sharp where I was soft, and we balanced each other out. She challenged me, laughed at my sarcastic remarks, and made me feel seen in a way no one else ever had. I thought that connection meant something. But the cracks began to show. The first one came during a weekend getaway in Santa Cruz. Her phone lit up at 2:14 a.m. while she was in the shower. I didn't peek at the screen, but I saw her grab it quickly, drying off just enough to reach for it. I told myself I was being paranoid. But then came the second crack. She started wearing perfume on girls' nights out. The same scent she used for our anniversaries. That's when the name Eli kept popping up more often. A coworker, she explained. We just click, you know? I nodded, trusting her, though somewhere deep down, the trust no longer made sense. The confirmation came on a Tuesday. She left her laptop open while rushing out for a webinar. Her texts were synced to messages, and though I wasn't snooping, I saw his name again, Eli. One text read, "He's so emotionally clueless. I have to walk him through everything. Wish I could just be with you instead." Another followed, "Don't feel bad. I fake it half the time anyway. He doesn't notice." I read the entire thread in silence, no reaction, no pacing, no shouting, just the quiet closing of her laptop. That night, I picked up her favorite tie, kissed her forehead, told her she looked beautiful. She smiled, relieved. But I had already started dismantling her life, piece by piece. Step 1 was observation. I studied her the way she studied lab rats. Triggers, patterns, emotional shifts, tone changes. She was addicted to attention, not love. Validation was her weakness. Step 2 was evidence. I mirrored her phone using software I wrote years ago. It was legal, clever, and undetectable. Every message, every call, every location ping, I had it all. Step 3 was detachment. No confrontation, no guilt, just cold execution. I created an LLC in her name for a wellness coaching brand she'd always talked about starting. I built the website, had logos designed, and created the illusion of movement. I even sent her a mock-up portfolio, claiming a designer had mistakenly contacted me. She lit up. "This is perfect. Can I actually use this?" I smiled and told her she deserved it. She didn't know the website's backend was tracking every login, every edit. Her IP address, browser, and timestamps were all documented and archived. Step 4 was legal leverage. I contacted a family law attorney, Ava, a friend of mine, and had her draft a separation agreement. I wasn't after alimony or vengeance. I just wanted control. We weren't married, but she'd used my accounts to start her brand, even used my money unknowingly. That made things interesting. I waited 2 months, letting her dig herself deeper with late-night work calls, more private jokes, and endless lies. She didn't notice that I had stopped asking questions. Then one night, I invited her to dinner at a quiet restaurant downtown. She wore red, smelled like bergamot and betrayal. We ordered wine, and I handed her a wrapped box. Inside were printed transcripts of dozens of her texts with Eli, lines highlighted, with legal timestamps and digital receipts. She stared at them, blinking. I poured her wine and said, "What is this?" I leaned back, calmly answering, "Evidence." Her throat moved, but no sound came out. I told her, "I'm not confronting you. I'm informing you." She opened her mouth, closed it. I pushed the separation letter toward her. "You set me up," she muttered. I shook my head. "No, you set yourself up. I just kept receipts." She looked at the letter, then at me. "You don't love me anymore," she whispered. I shrugged. "I loved who you pretended to be." I stood up. "Your things will be packed by Saturday, and your keys will be revoked by Sunday. Eli can help you move." The next night, she showed up at my door, makeup smeared, breath sharp with vodka. I made a mistake, she said. I stared at her. No, you didn't. You made a choice. Then I closed the door. 3 months later, her brand was dissolved. Turns out, faking certifications to sell coaching services was illegal. Eli moved to Denver. She didn't follow him. Ava sent me a screenshot of the cease and desist letter from her lawyer. It was weak, laughably so. She tried to rebuild on LinkedIn, on Instagram, but once people started digging, they found the cracks. I never responded. Not once. Some nights. I remember her leaning against my chest, pretending to listen to my heartbeat, like it mattered. She never heard the rhythm, but I did. And I used it to time every move. Now silence feels like justice, and justice feels like peace.